Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Coach Steve Frenzinger. Today I'm going to give you a little background on a subject that's always of great interest to people, and that is the whole issue of being present or in the moment and not being in your head. You've probably heard that term for so many times. So the reality is that the mind, and I'll sort of use this little diagram this little model as an example here to sort of create a sort of a metaphor for you to see this. So, the best way to look at the mind and to manage what's going on in the mind is to see it separate from you. So, in essence, if I'm holding it here and you're looking at me, essentially, I'm viewing myself as separate from my mind. That's very much like the Eckhart Tolle concept of disidentifying with your mind, disidentifying with your mind's contents. Your mind is full of a lot of crap from the past. And the domain of the mind is the past and the future. So you can look up the past and you can ponder the future. But other than that, you can't, because when you're in the moment and we're focused on you, and I'm listening to you, which, by the way, is the number one way to quiet the mind, is to listen. Then you have my full attention and my mind's full attention. And it sits there quietly and just records what's going on. A little bit like a camera person at a film shoot. I'm sitting there and they are just filming what's going on and recording what's happening and identifying things of interest that occur and so on. But the bottom line is, if you say something that catches my attention, or a thought catches mine, I go into my head, you see this, but inside it looks like this. I'm interacting with my mind. Oh, that's a familiar name, isn't it? Let's look that up. I wonder what they're going to serve for lunch. Or, gosh, that was a crazy, I almost got in a car accident. Oh, and all of a sudden I'm back. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else. Or somebody says to you, well, what do you think about that? And of course, a second ago, you were in your head and you weren't listening. And that's the problem. When you're in your head, all of your five senses are diminished. You don't hear as well, you don't see as well. You get off the wrong off-ramp on the freeway, you get off the wrong floor in the elevator. You do dumb stuff because you're just not listening. And as my wife likes to call it, it's those Earth to Steve moments when I'm in there like this. My wife said, I know you're in there, Earth to Steve, Earth to Steve. And it's really something you have to work on because if you are in your head, again, a lot, you're not in the moment. You lose track of conversations. People say things like, what do you think, Steve? And then I say, well, I'm sorry, about what? And they say, well, about what I just said. And you say, oh, gosh, I didn't hear you. And they say, what do you mean you didn't hear me? I was talking right to your face. Well, the reality, here's where you were. Inside there, you were like this. So bottom line is, don't overthink anything. Stay in the moment. Listen intently. Listen to other people speak. Listen to the sounds of nature. If you're trying to sleep, listen to yourself breathing. To stay in the moment, to give your mind a break. Otherwise, it's going to sit there and just want to jabber to you all the time. Now, why is that? The mind is, Eckhart Tolle says the mind is needy and it wants to chat with you. It keeps throwing things out at you like, hey, it keeps giving you thoughts, trying to capture you in conversation because it's very lonely. There's only the past and the future in there. All the good stuff is out here in the middle, called the moment or the present, where things are unfolding second by second, and that's where you live. And all things that can possibly in your mind have to originate, in this moment. So try to stay in the moment as best you can, and avoid the mind's efforts to engage you in that conversation. The mind's wonderful. It's like a computer. It answers questions. And that's a great tool, and it should answer. You should look at it very much like a question. Go to your computer when you need questions answered, and when you're done, get away from it. Just as you wouldn't want to sit at your computer 24/7, you don't want to be in your head 7, what kind of life would you have if either of those were true? So the bottom line, the mind is a tool. Use it when you need it. Ask it questions. It should answer your question. It should understand premise. You should ask it positive questions like, how can I do something? Not why can't I? Because it is, believe it or not, smart enough to know. It's smarter than Google. It uses a semantic search. So when you say, why can't I do something? It'll tell you why you can't. And if you ask, how can I? It will tell you how you can. So understand those questions. When the mind speaks to you constantly, trying to pull you into conversation, you have to learn to fight that. And one way to fight it, again, is to stay in the moment and not let its ever-increasing intense efforts at getting your attention. You know, the way it works, it's like self-talk. It's a little bit like a pop-up window on your computer. The fact that the mind will throw crap at you to try to get your attention. It'll say things like, it'll remind you of things, some negative thing you told it in the past. It'll say, hey, you're an idiot. So, what do you mean I'm an idiot? Or you're going to screw this up. You say, what do you mean I'm going to screw this up? The bottom line, it's going to throw crap at you because it wants to engage you in conversation. It wants you in your head talking to your mind. So fight that urge. Stay in the moment. That's where all good things happen. That's where life unfolds. That's where you get to participate in the world and the unfolding events around you. Enjoy it. I hope this little identity or this little metaphor helped. All right, over now. Have a great day. See you later. Coach Steve Renzinger here.